With the help of Hashem, I'm going to talk about today a continuation of what we spoke yesterday. Yesterday we said that the Parashah of Ben Soil Moye teaches me rules on how to educate kids, how to educate your family. The number one rule is that parents need to have boundaries. They have to give boundaries to the kids. When there's no boundaries, they do what they want, and that's a kilkul. And how, when there's no boundaries, not necessarily that the parents don't put boundaries. And the chiddush we said yesterday, that even the parents put boundaries, but if the parents are not together, the boundaries of the father is not the boundaries of the mother, or the mother is not the same, so he found cracks in the boundaries and he rebelled. He could rebel. It's a possibility. So one of the things we see in the Torah is there's two mitzvahs in this parashah, which I think is the same message. The number one is, besides Ben Soil Moye, the Torah says in Parashas Seitzei, Lo yekli gever al isha. A man should not wear clothing of women. Velo yilbash gever simlas isha. Sorry, I didn't read it right. Lo yekli gever isha. A woman should not wear clothing of men, and a man should not wear clothing of women. Ki tov as Hashem Elokecha kol Yisrael. It's abomination of Hashem. Abomination of Hashem. Anyone that does that. So Rashi says, Lo osro Torah, the Torah didn't prohibit, ela levush amevi lidei toeva. Clothing which bring abomination. What does that mean? Whatever it means. So the Rashbam says, clothing that will allow you to walk between the other species. If I wear certain clothing, which you look like a woman, I can walk amongst women. Like a man, I look like a man. A lot of men wear long hair, cuckoo. You heard about the word cuckoo? You know what's cuckoo? I don't know say in English cuckoo. A ponytail. A ponytail, a cuckoo. Rabbi Vadia Yosef says, call it kav lekav. Tzav letzav. Kav, cuckoo. Kav lekav is cuckoo. Ponytail. Ponytail represents that you want to be part of the women. It's a women thing. Women have long hair, men doesn't. One of the things that we said that a convert, when he converts, he has to shave his hair like tzaras. And the Ramah brings it down that even today we have to follow that a convert, that he's a galach. He was a priest. He had long hair, ponytail. He has to shave his head because the ponytail is a tumor, it's a cheptza of tumor. Back
today we have the top. Front and back.
You have chup on top and ponytail in the back. Okay, big chup. You have long, big chup. I tell my children, why are you wearing a chup? Well, you wanted girls, look at you. What are you doing? Yeah, but I tell my kids, what are you doing? He says, no, Abba, all my friends do it. If I don't do it, I look weird, so I have to do it. But I said, okay, but how much you put energy to that? You put a gel, you stand next to a mirror. When I was in Singapore, I never looked in the mirror. I never shaved my beard. Never touched my beard. Never looked in the mirror. I didn't want to look in the mirror.
Abba bought the mirror and made some.
Yeah, but I didn't want to look in the mirror. Didn't want to look in the mirror. So since I was 12, 13 years old, I didn't want to look in the mirror. If I have a pimple or something, which I have to put something on, I cut something, yes, but I didn't look in the mirror. I never shaved my beard, never touched my beard. I told my kids, what's going on with you? He says, no, everybody's like that. Okay, in a different generation. Lo yilbash gever simlas isha, which means don't do things which bring abomination, brings a mix. So I understand the message here in the Torah. It's a very important message. Boundaries. The Shloah Kodesh, a lot of Chumoshim have Musori Ashlo in the back of the Chumash. The Shlach Kodesh in Musora Ashlo says something amazing. That a father and a mother should not let their little boy, little baby, dress with dressing of women, of girls, because it will bring them a desire that when they get older, they want to go to snooze. They have a bigger desire to go to snooze. The Shlach Kodesh says it's a spiritual thing. Again, when you have a child, 2-3 years old, don't let him wear girls' clothing, because the Shlach Kodesh V'Sorah says that when they grow older, will give them a desire or rotzai to have znus with women. Amazing.
It's interesting that the Rashi about this was again. It's also explained that that's one of the reasons that if someone
should mix. Should mix. Don't wear, which means don't be similar to women, not be through clothing, look like a man to walk between men. And Rashi says the enzul l'shem niuf. The goal of this is to make abomination, to mix and to mix boys and girls. So which means, this is very important, the Haredi world is very important. The Haredi world are very into boundaries. There was modern Orthodox. There is still today a whole sect in the Jewish nation, the Orthodox, but call themselves modern Orthodox. Under what point, what is the pivotal point that they call themselves modern? Where's the word modern? Instead of saying taiva, they use another word modern. Under what point is modern?
They don't follow the mitzvahs.
No, they do follow the mitzvahs. But they want to be modern because they're tough. They live in Chutz La'aretz, I'm Lametz Chutz. But where is the pivotal point where there's a big Yetzirah and it's hard to stand on right and wrong, is the boundaries between men and women. The Mizrahi world started with Big Talmid Chachomim. The Mizrahi movement, and then this all started with Big Talmid Chachomim. Rav Kook and others. And it failed. A lot of the kids used to be, now is better, but up to about 10, 15, 20 years ago, big majority of kids, of parents were Mizrahi, went off the deck. Why? Because the boundaries between boys and girls were very loose. So in Chutz La'aretz, the rabbi said in the modern Orthodox world, listen, we'd rather have those boys and girls mixed together and get married together with Jewish girls and Jewish boys than to go out with non-Jewish girls. Okay, it's a svara. I know it's a true svara, because you don't gain kedusha by doing nisim. So they don't, when they have events, they don't dance together, but they have boys together and girls. There's such thing called co-ed schools, the modern Orthodox schools. Co-ed, what's co-ed? They're in the same class, you have boys and girls. First of all, when you have boys and girls in the same school, there's a very slim, small chance that the boys will have good reports. Because all day long, the boys and girls in pubic days, and the growing age, they don't focus. They're only all day long thinking about the other species. If you want to have a store, you go to the old city, you have a store where you have boys and girls working, you know the chance you're going to get service is very slim, quick. Why? No, because they laugh at each other, and they're giggling, they're talking, they're talking about this, that. Or sometimes it can be good, because they want to show the other one working good. Depends what atmosphere you give. But they give the wrong atmosphere, you're not going to no service, they're focusing on one another. A place wants one work, only men, only women. Focus. So it's wrong. That as far as physical. Talking about spiritually. When you have boys and girls mixed together, what happens? It leads to chatoim, to sins. So boundaries, the Haredi world, there are a lot of boundaries. A lot of boundaries. Halachically, who says I need those boundaries? Halachically, for example, weddings. Halacha is brought down Mishnah. Halacha, if you look at Mishnah, Mishnah brings down big halacha. In Ilchos Kriyashma, halacha brings down that the real prohibition is to dance in wedding. To dance, boys and girls. But to have at one table boys and girls sitting calmly like you have in your house, it's not an issue. So why the Haredi don't have weddings? Because at the time of Simcha, people dress as a show-off. They would dress nice, makeup, and all atmosphere as a show-off. in that period of time, boys and girls sit together, people lose their honor, and things can go wrong.
Some weddings they do that.
I know that.
Be together and dance b'mechitza.
So halachically is not a yisur. Because in its time when it's not kalus roish, they sit in one table, don't touch each other, sit in one table. The time of mixing, of dancing, of happiness, that's the ikar yisur, to mix boys and girls. But the Haredi world are smart. They're not stupid, they're smart. They prevent a lot of problems. I have so many parents come to me, listen, I don't know what to do with my girls, my boys. I can't control them. They got to pubic days. They get 16, 14, 18, whatever the age they get. I can't talk to them. The whole long, the person, they finish, they're gone. They have their own mind and set.
I saw a video from Rav Nata Ribla, and he said that in his time, they used to have at weddings mixed tables for the older
My
singles.
father's days too.
For the older singles, so that they could see each
Yes.
other.
Not only that, in my father's days, there's a thing called triple date. There's a triple date. 3 boys go with 3 girls out. And when you like, you pick up. But in those days, they had honor to people. Women had honor, men had honor, they had manners. The English world was very strong in manners. So people know how to control themselves because they were raised with boundaries. That's the point. You should know, there's a major difference in the education of America and Israel. For example, my daughters go to a camp in America. They always come to me and tell me it's a major difference. I'm talking about the shvach. American girls are trained somewhat with boundaries that when the head counselor comes in, everybody's silent, can't even a drop of a pen. They're being trained to listen to rules. And then it's just Americans. Israelis, they're not trained to rules. They run around, they're jumping around. My son went to a cheder here in Old City, so I want to take him out of there. Why? Because there's no that cheder is wild animals. They don't have to put boundaries. So a lot of parents pull the kids away. So they have to have a whole new system to put in boundaries. And the first week, which was last week, the first week of school was about boundaries. A whole week to teach the kids boundaries. Israel have a big problem with that. Because everybody's a familia. There's one big ghetto, one big family. So there's no rules and there's no boundaries. And Chutz La'aretz, even between the goyim, you have Hispanic and black. So they have to have rules. And also it's part of the English culture. So a lot of rules, a lot of manners.
I believe that, by my experience, one of the main things that make Jews more disciplined abroad, outside Israel, is because of Kiddush Hashem. We feel the responsibility to
Okay,
present.
very good.
Yeah.
Very good. But all that being said, all the modern Orthodox in America are in big trouble because they don't follow the boundaries. So it creates so much problem. Okay, Allah is allowed, true Allah. But if you don't create boundaries, especially between men and women, you suffer. The problems are 50 times worse. 50 times worse. Look at American kids. 1 year post-high school kids come to Israel. You dealt with them, Reuven? You never dealt with them. I thought you did before. 1 year post-high school modern Orthodox kids. They're full of problems. Of boys, boyfriends, they all come from religious homes. All that, they're like goyim. Right? Then my father used to, all of us he used to deal with those kids. He suffered to train them, to get them out of the trouble. Drugs, girls, problems, sneers, because they didn't have no boundaries. The Haredi world is harder. And you couldn't say it's a hot country. Why have to black and white? Why have to have mechitza? There's enough tenfochim. Why when we make a kiddush, why women cannot be in the same table? We're not dancing. You're right. But all those boundaries bring a lot of benefit. The benefit is 10 times, and it's being proven. My father, bless his memory, used to say, he said that 50 years ago, he went to San Francisco. In those days, Reb Shlomo Carlebach used to teach in the yeshiva, the Ashby yeshiva. He used to be a recruiter to bring boys to the yeshiva. In those days, talk about in 1969, 1970, many years ago. Yeah, the Ashby yeshiva. Here, right here. There's a picture, he's sitting here with a beautiful sharsher, with a Magen David, long hair, beautiful kippah with a Magen David kippah, he's teaching Yerushalmi. I have a picture of that. I have to look for that place.
I would love to have this picture.
Yes, I have to look where it is. There's somewhere in my house. You see a picture, he's teaching Yerushalmi Peah. Here in this Medrash. Right here.
In the corner.
No, here, in this Medrash. Here. Boy is sitting here.
And also there was a tree outside and he
Yeah, that's also a picture. Talk about teaching. Anyhow, he was a big recruiter. He brought a lot of thousands of people to do tshuva. He was a very special person. But anyhow, so he built a synagogue called the House of Love and Prayer in San Francisco. I don't know if it still exists. And right across, a Chabad house, a small Chabad house in a dilapidated place, started a Chabad house. My father, bless his memory, used to say, everybody laughed in the Chabad shliach. What are you doing? Crazy? People here want love and prayer, and everybody's loved each other, and they dance together, and they say Shalom Aleichem, and all those different songs of love, etc. And he says, what happened after a few years? The House of Love and Prayer had at least every Leil Shabbos 500 people in those days. A few years passed later, 24 Chabad houses in San Francisco, and full with people, the same time, and the Love and Prayer house contracted. So my father used to say, bless his memory, he said, Kiruv, people in the end, don't want fake. They want boundaries, they want Kedusha, they want the real, they want real rules, they want to have to connect to Kedusha and Taya. And the end up wins. And the end up has a bigger effect. It's true. So you think, all those breaking boundaries, this is real movement. Oh, I bring more kiruv, I have to let go. No. You don't let go. You have to use seichel. Because sometimes they're not even kiruv, they run away. But in certain things, they are expecting you as a rabbi, and they're expecting you to touch Kedusha to see Kedusha. And see Kedusha is separation. They want to see that. I want to expect the rabbi to be alone. Just finish one story, I want to hear you question. There was a famous story my father used to say, that he knew that person, a very rich guy, very rich, multi-millionaire, and he was very a wild guy, wild guy. Very in those days. Talk about in the early 60s, 70s. Not too many Jews were millionaires. And what he do, when rabbis used to come to this place, he used to give them a donation according to the holiness. How? Right when he entered his office, he had huge pictures of the Renaissance days. Women naked, totally naked, this and that. And he used to watch if the rabbi picked up his head and look at it, or he didn't see it. He says, when Rabbi Koto used to come in, he told my father passed the test. He had a big chest. But he used to say, when Rabbi Koto came in, it was the only rabbi that he saw that he even pick up his head. He was so involved of raising money for Kiruv and Klal Yisrael, he didn't see nothing. He said, he saw something, give him the biggest check. But he checked. The wild guy, he's expecting the rabbi to be holy. He wants the holy rabbi, boundaries. He says, me, okay, I have problems. Full of problems. I cannot get out of it. But I want to see a holy rabbi. I want to see that a rabbi that has boundaries and sanctifying himself. That's what I'm expecting. People come to yeshiva, what do they see? They want to see an open yeshiva? No. They want to see a serious yeshiva. They want to see a holy yeshiva. People that straighten themselves out boundaries. And the next part of the Parashah is, when you build a house, you have to build a railing. It's the same thing. Boundaries. Without boundaries, it's not a house. A house with no boundaries is a jungle. Just trouble comes out of it. So the number one rule of chinuch is boundaries. And they made a test. They took kids on the roof. Said, play. If there was no railing around, even though it says don't come 2 meters, the kids go towards the railing. If there's a short railing, there's a railing, don't come 2 meters, don't come. Which means kids want boundaries. They need boundaries. They're searching for boundaries. And adults, the same thing. So number one thing, we want to train in yeshiva boundaries, rules. Why everybody in yeshiva here wearing button shirt, nice shirt, nice kippah, because that's the feeling. That's the feeling in yeshiva. That's feeling when we wear button shirt or white or black and white, whatever it is, at least on Shabbos, whatever it is. We don't ask nobody. You came yesterday with bandana. I told you anything? No. Why? Because it doesn't mean anything. But automatically you changed this morning for me without a bandana. Why? Because you felt bandana represents no boundaries. I'm reading your feelings. I'm a rabbi, I'm allowed to say. It's just not saying you don't get shamed. I can explain the concept. Because bandana represents no boundaries. Hippie. And kippah and this, that, but sure, it represents boundaries. And that's what the yeshiva represents. And you want to connect to that. Sure, we allow you to wear bandana. You can wear a bandana, you want, no problem. This is Jew. Hashem wants your heart. God wants your heart. No problem. But since the message of the yeshiva's boundaries, automatically boys pick it up themselves. So how do we give a message of boundaries? The dining room opens in a certain hour. You have to come to the yeshiva at a certain hour. The rabbis have to come on time. That's the rules of boundaries, your boundaries. And the mashgiach is running after the rabbis to come on time. Time, seder, dressing code. You don't need a dressing code. About it. Those are the things that represents rules, represent boundaries. When we have that, only good and benefit comes out of it. Shabbos.
La